morning and welcome to Morning Coach Today. I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's JB and I'm super excited you're here. It is August 30th, 2021, ready to end this August and this week and get moving into September. We got September, October, November, December. Can you believe it? It is moving fast. But it's an exciting time because year one of Get It Done Now is really coming to a close, and we're evolving the next couple months some real awesome concepts that are going to help you make 2022 amazing. And one of those things we're going to start working on this week is to start building really amazing friendships. And I've got some great data to really go over that really shows that friendships are so important in life. And I'm going to give you some ideas today to help you do it. As far as organization goes, today is Monday. I love Mondays. It is a great time to really step back. If you did your Financial Friday, you should be organized coming into the week, right? Or into this week already, into the month with September. And then understanding your 7 Ps. We're working on a new way to present that. I've got that in the works right now. And then we've got the book study tomorrow. We're going to be getting through Alchemy. As you know, we're going through that this month and next month. And then a couple of things we got going on. What is a friend on Wednesday? Thursday, Ask JB. Those questions are coming in. Friday, we're going to talk about what is a mention, why that's so important. Saturday, long-term friendships. And then Sunday, a good one. It's going to be on a handout or a hand up. What do you do? When do you do that? So really exciting time. Like I said, I'm getting a new planner done. We're also working on a new content calendar on the site so you can go there and you'll be able to click the day and know what we're studying on, like an interactive calendar. A lot of work going into that, but the site is going to become more and more of a resource now that we've got our secure platform. And again, like I said, I've got some surprises coming with that, but that's going to be one thing. And then later this week, I will be launching a new webinar called I'm Always Starting, but it seems, but Get Derailed. And that webinar is really about being able to stay focused. And that comes from our group coaching. Roxanne did such a great job pulling out some of the issues, and that was a big one. So I'm going to do a webinar on that, and you'll be able to get that. And finally, something fun we're doing, we're getting ready to get our belt ranking awards ready for the October event. And also if you don't come to the event, so make sure you're working your belt system, and you're getting through that, because it is important as we come into December planning that you've got that foundation, especially that white and yellow belt. Really, that foundation is so critical as we build our plan for 2022. But today we're getting into building massive friendships here on Monday. And again, I said I had some data for you. And the data from the American Psychological Association says that great relationships, strong social relationships, increases our survival rate by 50%. Think about that. It increases our survival rate by 50%. And there's a lot to do with the stress and the anxiety of not having good friends or good social relationships around you. And when you do, everything can get better. There's nothing better than having a relationship with your significant other that's really powerful. But then we start getting friends, the right friends around, and it makes everything different. It really builds. And I'm going to talk about some of the ways that I've found amazing friends. And I think it'll make sense as we get through some of the data. So we need to understand the first thing, and that is the power of time together. So we have taken this for granted for years. I mean, I took this for granted when I was a child and my friends. It was just like you just assumed you're going to be together forever. And there are many friends that I haven't seen in years that were friends from high school in the past. And part of the problem is because I just took for granted that time together. And I still do it. There are times that I've made some really close friends now that I go golf with, and then I just rush through it. And I don't realize the moment, how important that time is, and why getting into that moment is so important. When I work with my professional athletes, that's one of the big things that we work on is really not taking for granted the time that you have. There's a time to relax, right? And then there's a time to be a professional. And I think we all are professionals in our own right, as we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. And so we've got to respect that time. That time is so important. And as you get older and you have more responsibilities and more things going on, that time is so much more critical that you really respect that time, okay? And so when you have friends, realizing that time together is very sacred can make a big difference. We go back to the Course in Miracles, we talk about the holy instant or the power of the now. Being present is so critical, and that leads me to my next point, which means when we're there, we need to be present. We've got to get rid of that cell phone, which is, a habit of mine. Look, my business is on the phone. I walk the dog, and me and Neil go out. We go for a run, and I got my cell phone. I throw the cell phone on my golf cart, and I go run to get away from it because, I'm connected to it. I'm connected to a lot of people. And sometimes when I'm in the presence of others, I find myself grabbing that cell phone. You got to be careful with that. Even at my events, I will warn everyone about that, because what happens is you're at the event and things are going on and you're in a room with a bunch of people and you reach into your purse or you go into your back pocket and you pull your cell phone out. What does that make everybody else do? Everybody else starts to check theirs. Oh, they get that anxiety like they're missing something. And I think that's part of the problem of the cell phone. So when you're with other people, put that thing at least, maybe upside down, and then do 4 things. And these are the 4 primary things that will really help you. One is listen. And I've said this from the beginning of this show when I started back in 2005, 2006, was we need to increase our listening skills. If I've had one thing that has served me more than anything else in my life, it's been the ability to listen. And being able to listen, you can hear what is going on with somebody. Most people don't listen. They just want to tell. And if you can become a great listener, you can become a great friend, you can become a great coach, you can become a great mentor, because you can hear what somebody's actually saying. And in order to hear what somebody's actually saying, and sometimes that's not even verbally, it's non-verbally, you've got to be able to listen. You got to be able to hear what is going on. What are the pain points in that person? One of my abilities is in sales. I've always been really good in sales, whether it was selling aircraft or perfume. I mean, I could sell anything. And why? Because I take a general interest in people. And the second thing is because I really believe in other people and I'm trying to help them. And if my product and service can help them, then it's really easy for me because I'm just helping them, right? And so one-on-one, I don't think there's many people that can sell as well as I do. Maybe I'm not that great on the internet because I'm not the best writer and all that other communication things. But when I'm one-on-one with somebody and we're sitting down, why can I help that person? Why am I such a great coach? Why can I move them forward? Is because I can sell. Because I can listen to the issues that they're having and be able to sell them on the direction they need to go. And that's when I put on my consultant hat. And I think as we get into this year's planning, and you're going to hear more about this, and specifically in the webinar, one of the things that we've got to do is help you understand where you're at, right? Your mission. Like, this is what I want to accomplish. And then where are you? Where are you at in this mission? And that's what a friend does, is help them understand the reality. The third step that's really important is, getting those options together of what you can do. And this is where, our really, coming into 22, our strength is going to shine. Because obviously we've got these amazing people from all over the world that are doing really amazing things. And what that allows us to do is give you options to help you attain your goal. And that's what great coaching does. That's why this system is getting better and better and stronger. We might not have as many people as we had in the past, but we've got amazing people and better people. And what that means is we're able to help people with options. And that's such a huge thing, because then we put the plan, get it done now plan in place, and we start working with that, right? So that options characteristic or aspect comes with experience and wisdom and studying and book studies and all the things that we're doing. That's what makes you even more valuable as a friend and a coach and a mentor, okay? So it all starts with being able to listen, though, because if you don't listen, then you can't move forward to help somebody understand where they're at and then give them options, right? And that's really what we're trying to do. And this is parenting 101 too, which is really important. Some other things you can do is help them remember and refer to the past. What it does when you refer to their past, and remember, we always say the past is memory trace, but when we help refer to the past, you're seeing that you actually care. People don't care about what you know until you tell them how much you care. Once they know you care about them and they can see you care, all of a sudden they're going to allow you to work with them. Okay. You need to check in with your friends. It's really critical that you're checking in once in a while and you're making sure they're okay. And then finally, let your thank yous be your thank yous. And this is something that I still work on. It's really hard, is that when somebody wants to give me something or to do something for me, to just say thank you. It's really extremely hard for me, and it's something that I work on, but let your thank yous be your thank yous. One of the things we have to realize from friendships is people want to do things. When you don't take the thing they're doing, like let them pay lunch for you, and I would always offer, but then say, okay, you can pay. Or they want to give you a gift, or they want to work with you and volunteer, or they want to help you. If you say no to that, right, you're actually taking away their gift. You're taking away their prosperity, because life is about giving and receiving. So if you're not letting them give and you're not letting them give you what they want to give you, you're killing off their prosperity, because they're trying to give because somewhere down the line somebody gave to them. And that's a really important thing to remember when you're a giver and you're the one that's always fighting people to say, no, I don't need it. I don't want it. Thanks so much, but I'm okay. Remember to just say thank you, and you will build better relationships, because you're actually doing a service to those people. I know that's crazy, but it's true. And it's something you have to get into in a really deep aspect of understanding prosperity. Okay? As we keep going, keep communicating. If you feel you're drifting apart, call. If you feel you're drifting apart, you probably are. And that's something that's really important, that you stay in communication. Stay in communication. One of the things that I'm trying to do, and I've always been great at this actually, but I'm really working harder to get better, is to build our groups, right? And you've heard me say that Morning Coach has a group for everybody. But as we get our groups together and we're working to structure the groups a little bit stronger, I think about the mastermind, which is something that I've had for years, and Inner Circle. Basically what happens is I'm working to bring people together to build friendships. And I found some research that was really great. In 2019, a study of the Journal of Science on Relationships found this, and I think this is why this is so pertinent. It takes 40 to 60 hours for a casual relationship with a stranger to become a friend. 40 to 60 hours. So if you think about that, and this is why I'm using the mastermind, for example, our masterminds are 2 or 3 days, typically 3 days, people get together, and then we have 1 4-day event. So if you come for 3 days and you're in a room for 8 hours, and then you've got evenings, so let's say 10 hours, you've got 30 hours at your first event. And so a lot of times I'll tell people it takes a little longer to connect, right? So in October, Inner Circle meets for 2 days before our 2-day event, which is 4 days. So if you think about being there and then going to dinner and things for 4 days, that's the 40 to 60 hours. So typically what happens is people will come to our events and especially the mastermind, and we meet 3 times a year. So after a couple meetings, they really start to feel more comfortable. And this research proves that. And it continues to go on that then over 200 hours is what the research shows that'll move somebody to one of your best friends. So in my masterminds, you can see the people that have been with me for years that have over 200 hours together. They are really friendly and they have built those relationships. And that's why like a mastermind's a great thing, because you get together 3 times a year and you're meeting and you're getting to know people. I saw this in aerospace when I used to do the conferences. When I was in sales, it was very similar, that you would go to these conferences and start seeing the same people and you really weren't friends. But after 3 or 4 years of spending 40 to 60 hours together, you started to build friendships. So I think that's an important thing. And for me, when you're looking for friends, finding the quality and really awesome friends, sometimes buying into a mastermind or a group coaching program where you can actually get and do things is why those social dynamics work. I never really got it until this research came in. Now I understand it, why I loved it, and I've built so many close friends. At first, it feels awkward when you go to a meeting. It's kind of weird. It's like, well, what am I doing here? Do I fit in? Is this my group? And then as you go more and more time, you start to really build real relationships where you actually care about the other people. And that's where the friendships comes from. So that research was fascinating for me as I was researching this week on this whole friendship idea and why I believe mastermind structures work so well, because you literally build great friends over the years as you go year to year, 3 times a year, right? So that's pretty cool. A couple other points that I want to make before we close today is that we want to embrace quality and ditch quantity. I think social media has created this thing where, we've got 5,000 friends on Facebook or whatever. I actually been deleting friends on Facebook. I want quality friends. I don't want quantity. It's just the way that I do my business. I want to focus on more quality individuals like yourself that get this than going out and just trying to help a lot of people at a very low dollar and then just, running into issues with those low dollar people because they're not committed to what we're doing here, not helping us build the system, not looking to make friends, not willing to put the time and effort into our community. And that's really what, I want to talk about in another point here is that, you've got to commit to community. That's part of it. As you start doing things, the more you can get into the community, the more you can build stronger friendships, whatever those communities are. I think of Greg Gant, who's been with me for years, who's now an IC member, who has been very successful in business, very successful attorney, does a lot of governmental work also. He's really embraced the community, stopping by our business development network, and I can see him, like for him, that's a big part of what we're doing is embracing that community. And everybody's becoming more friends with Greg as he's a new IC member this year. So I see how that all comes together, and it's really cool when you see that there's an investment of time and energy and resources for people to do that. But the social relationships that come from that are really a part of that return that you can't get anywhere else. You're not going to find those relationships, and that's super cool. And the final thing I'll say with really good friends is that you want to help them ride out transitions. We're all going to have transitions. As I brought up, there are things that happen. Maybe somebody gets a divorce or their relationship doesn't work out. Maybe they're dealing into life with parents. People transition all the time. And so we want to be there as friends to help people, maybe help their business grow. And they're getting more wealth than they've ever had before. And they're having issues with family members. Everybody is dealing with something at some level. And what we've got to do is, continue to be a friend and make sure we find those right people that we want to be friends with. So it's going to be a great week. We're going to get into this even deeper. Tomorrow we step back a little bit, talk a little bit more about alchemy and the book that we're reading for this next couple months. And then Wednesday, we're back to this idea of how do we really build these core friendships that you can count on, that somebody's going to be there. Because again, maintaining strong social relationships increases our survival rate by 50%. That's pretty cool. So anything that's going to increase my survival rate, I want to do a better job of. And you know what? It's great to have those people around you. When you fall down, they help you up. And when you're on top of the mountain, they're cheering. And that's really what you want. You want those people that are clapping when you're winning, and you want to be careful of those people that aren't clapping when you're winning. Find those people that are clapping that are when you're winning and surround yourself with them and be that good friend that you truly can be. Okay? I love you. Let's go do it to it. It's going to be a great week, and I'll be back with more right here tomorrow to get your day started on morningcoach.com. Go do it to it.